So, we're going to work on perfectionism today and being self critical. And we can begin by just beginning to relax. And you might immediately think, I've got too much to do. I don't have time to relax. I've got to run and do this. I've got to run and do that. We get way over schedule. We get way too busy. And we deserve to have a few minutes to focus what we're going to do. That few minutes to focus actually helps us to get things done faster and easier. When you're relaxed, you have clarity and focus, your performance at whatever you're doing is going to be at least 25% better. It's science. That's not a woo thing. That's a real thing. So just begin to drift down. Pick whatever comfortable position you've chosen. And you could lean back for this one and allow your body to completely relax. When we relax, we actually enhance our performance. Our body certainly thanks us. And it uses that few minutes to heal. We can get rid of the stress related illnesses and function a lot better. So just begin by taking a deep breath and letting it out. Take another one, and this time let it out slower than you're taking it. We can do that by counting. In this group, we've put our thumb and finger together and use that as a focus point. You can do that now if you like. And we will hold the breath to the count of 4 and then exhale to the count of 8 as we go deeper into relaxation. And just release your thumb and finger as though you were dropping something on the floor. Just letting it go so you can maintain complete focus on what you're doing. What you're doing right now is called thinking in a meditative, relaxed state. So put that thumb and finger together and take a nice deep breath and hold it as I count 1, 2, 3, 4. Listen to the silence. There is a very quiet place between the breaths, between the in-breath and the out-breath. And exhale now. 1, 2, 3, 4, your deepest relaxation. 5, getting ready to release any tension now. 6, 7, and just relax your hand completely. 8, send that wave of relaxation through your body and actually run a little check on your body. Start with your neck and shoulders and your face, the muscles around your nose, and where your tongue is resting. And you can allow your mouth to open just a little bit. We're going to do a nervous system reset. Move your chin to the right and continue breathing. You can do that. Just move your chin to the right. And then move your chin to the left. And continue breathing. In and out, relaxing. Every breath being a relaxing breath. And then relax your jaw. Relax the muscles around it completely. And move into the muscles in your forehead, between your eyebrows. And you can move your eyebrows together and continue breathing. And as you let out the next breath, just relax your eyebrows. Let them go back where they belong. You might raise them a little and then lower them. And feel a relaxation in your forehead. And you can raise your shoulders. And in doing this, you might notice that you already had your shoulders raised a little bit. Go ahead and raise them further so that you can feel the tension in your muscles on your shoulders. And we're going to hold it that way just for a minute. Because once a muscle gets tired, it tends to want to relax. And you can do this for yourself. If you have tense muscles in an area, hold them tighter for a while. And then relax them and let them go. Let your shoulders drop now as you breathe in and out. Just keep breathing and allow your shoulders to fall all the way down where they belong. And that feels nice. Now, put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, touching the roof of your mouth just behind your teeth. And you can open your mouth a little. Breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose. And then breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Make sure your shoulders are still relaxed. Breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And just relax and let go. Your nervous system is reset now. Stop your mind from running off in all directions. Just allow it to be at peace. Just for a few minutes. You deserve a break. You're giving your mind a little vacation. And if anybody's taken long vacations, they realize that sometimes they need a day off to recover from their vacation. That happens when we're too long between vacations. Shorter times, more frequently, works a lot better for many people. And the same thing works with this. A short period of deep relaxation, often, at least a couple of times a day. That brings in a state of balance, a state of rest and peace to your body. And just relax and go deeper. And if you find any tense muscle, you can just send a message from your subconscious mind to relax. right down through your body. I'm going to count from 10 down to 1, and you can allow yourself to relax even deeper and go to a thinking place. A thinking place that's a peaceful room. It may have things that you particularly like, maybe some things that are lovely, like flowers, and maybe a little waterfall, or the sound of running water that is so peaceful and calming. And you can take yourself more fully into that image, into that feeling of that special place. Maybe it's filled with the scent of something you like. Relax and go deeper as I count from 10 down to 9, 8, 7, 6, down, deeper, into your little vacation. 5, halfway there now, for your deepest benefit. 3, 2, find a little rest, a peaceful interlude. 1, as you focus on one thought, to be here now. 0, with 0 interference, 0 interruptions. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to listen to anything. You don't even have to listen to the sound of my voice. You can let it drift into the background and just be a background sound that you allow. Everything is what you allow, and you only allow to the degree of your comfort. Drifting down restfully now into peace, into comfort. And you find that you can let the world outside of your thinking place, just let it take care of itself for a few minutes. Just let it carry on. It'll do that. It'll do it just fine. Begin to fix this particular place to think and relax. Fix it to perfectly reflect that sense of comfort. Free yourself from outside thoughts and go deeper into the center of yourself, deeper into your true self. Let everything go quiet. Even the sound of my voice becomes more quiet. Peacefully. And begin to think of a time that you were doing an everyday job. Maybe folding some clothes. You can imagine laying that garment down and smoothing it out, quietly paying attention to the feeling of the fabric as you begin making each fold. And imagine those folds don't have to be perfect. Those folds just can be straight, and you can smooth each one with your hand. And then maybe fold the other side in. And maybe there's a pleasant scent that comes from the fabric, especially when you smooth it out with your hand. It's soft and welcoming to the touch. Maybe there's a little sound when you smooth your hand over it. And notice how, when you begin to involve your senses, imagining what this looks like and feeling the sensations, hearing the little sounds, having a pleasant smell. All of the sensations of your body begin to focus, and you realize that this can be a healing activity. A healing activity in that you can allow this to be as good as you want it to be. It never has to be perfect. It only has to smooth your clothes out, make them more workable to fit them in a drawer. And you can imagine that you've already organized something like that and they fit in there nicely. Maybe you have a system of putting them on their side instead of stacking them so that your fingers can just walk through them and choose the one that you want because they're all visible instead of being stacked up. Nothing else interferes. And it's a way of training your mind, bringing wisdom into your heart, to be grateful for that thing that you're doing, to be thankful that you can physically do it and that you have the clothing that needs your attention. It fills a need for you. There's all kinds of gratitude, maybe gratitude for the peacefulness of your activity, something that you've put in your environment, maybe music, something that calms you and helps you to realize that this is a good and beneficial activity. Maybe a way of showing love to your family, maybe a way of showing love to yourself by taking nice care of clothing that you like. And be nice to yourself by understanding that There's a reason that you're doing folding. You can put that garment to the side and pick up something else. And this time, just kind of wad it up and see how it feels to do that. You can do that. You can even leave it that way. You can throw it back in the basket, or you could just stuff it in a drawer. Maybe these are two extremes. Maybe somebody told you one time what a good job you did of something like making your bed. And all the time they were telling you what a good job you did, they were remaking the bed. Maybe they were showing you that you didn't do a good job. And you got the idea that it wasn't good enough. Stop right here in your thinking place and realize that these are meant to be simple illustrations of extremes that we take ourselves to. And you can set that garment aside and pick up another one. And this time, do a job that you consider to be okay. It doesn't have to be as perfect as the first one because you did that very carefully. For instance, this might not be something that needs to be smoothed out. It might not be something that folds are really going to show in. Just do it okay. You can do one side and then the other, and then whatever other folds. And look at it and decide for yourself which of those three garments feels the best to you. Is it the one that an authority figure might tell you is really nice and maybe even perfectly folded? Or the one that's just wadded up? Or is it the one that you just did? Now, here's the important part. Continue breathing through this and check out your body for any signs of tension. Where are you holding that perfectionism? How is it causing stress or tension somewhere in your body? How is it causing you to rethink your choices? How is it causing you to want to go back and fix a couple of those? And stop that thought process. In those three things, there is a you that said, I think that this one is done very nicely, maybe even perfect. And this one is just not done at all well. And this last one is okay. And realize that everything you do in degrees. You can focus on doing things more perfectly. Let's face it, some things are more important to us. Other things aren't so important. Ask yourself and ask your body, if you hold yourself to a standard of perfection and difficulty, even if you don't attempt to do it, do you hold yourself to a standard of perfection that causes tension in your body or that causes stress? Mentally, do you rehearse things and go back and do them again and maybe even again? Look for areas that need some work. And we don't have to be perfectionists about being perfectionists either. Are there areas that you could relax in? Could you give yourself so many minutes to just focus on doing this task? Do part of it. Maybe when you have a schedule you have to keep to, you can go do the other thing and just stop what you're doing. But when you're doing it, can you focus on whatever it is and stop yourself from being difficult to yourself? Realize that the part of you that decided the degree that those 3 articles were done, that part of you made a choice. It chose to do each thing, if you followed along, to do one very well, to do one very poorly, and to do one that was moderate. Most jobs are moderate, or maybe a little above moderate, because sometimes we want things to be nice. That's fine. And you can say to yourself, I am making this a pleasant part of my life. I'm doing this nicely. If someone else came along and they had a different style or method of going about this, and some people do, they would look at what you're doing or what I'm doing and think it wasn't a very good job because it isn't like theirs. We might even think that. So stop yourself and say, what am I protecting? What feelings am I guarding by doing these things perfectly? What part of my thoughts or my feelings What part of my body, even, am I protecting by thinking I have to do something according to someone else's standards? Here's a real key. Say to yourself, what are my standards? What do I find pleasing? Am I pleasing myself or am I trying to please someone else that maybe isn't even here, that will never know what I did? If that comes back a yes, think carefully about where you got that message. Who told you those things? And think carefully how that person treated themselves. Did they hold themselves to the same standard? Did they just judge everyone around them? And whatever harshness they showed you, they probably were showing worse to themselves. That doesn't mean that anything is right or wrong. It just means it's more understandable. People are hard on themselves and they're hard on other people. Sometimes it doesn't mean they're doing any better, but they're being mean to themselves. So today, right here and right now, think I can stop treating myself harshly. I can decide what my standards are. I can choose the way that I do things. And most importantly, I can validate what I think is good. I can think in terms of poor, good, or excellent, and all the shades in between. I am flexible. I am learning to be kinder to myself in every way. I am able to choose the standard I hold myself to. And I can feel good about that because my choices are good. When I begin to trust myself with a choice of how well I fold clothes or wash dishes, I can start to trust myself with bigger decisions. I can find that my decisions are better than I thought they were, at least in recent years. I've learned to do much better. No one starts out making good decisions. That's why they're children. No one starts out knowing how to do things. That's where we get the word learn. We learn better every moment of every day. Trust yourself to know that you are learning how to be better to yourself. You trust yourself to do better than you've ever done before, and to do it happily. Whatever you're doing, it isn't all about going and doing and being entertained and having wonderful special things. It's about having the beauty of every moment, the beauty of everyday life. It's almost a period of grace, that peaceful kindness that comes from deep inside and that comes from our connection to our higher power. Know that your higher power believes in you, and your choices are getting better every day. Sometimes relaxing and just being with what you're doing will make it better in every way. You may discover some new and wonderful ways to do things that you never knew before because they're different from what you were taught. They're different from what other people think is correct. You may have a brand new, better way. You have a brand new, better way of being yourself, of being your true self. You can relax and feel good about what you do. And you can bring that wonderful feeling, that wonderful quality back with you into your waking state and into your everyday life, into everything you put your hand to. And I'm going to say a little prayer over you now. May everything you put your hand to prosper. May everything you touch be more beautiful. May everything you do give you confidence and healing in yourself to know that you are loved. And bring that knowledge with you into your waking state when I count to 5. Number 1, just begin to come up now. Number 2, feel yourself on that welcoming surface beneath you, on that comfortable surface. With the number 3, just take a deep breath and know that you got this. You got this in your everyday life and every moment of everything you choose to put your hand to. With the number 4, take another deep breath. Feel the need to stretch. Move around a little bit. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And open your eyes, wide awake and feeling wonderful. All the way back.